Who'd think I'd seek revenge today, but lack courage? Underestimated old Wang, tied up, Dinny couldn't fight him. Not even worthy of cash-in, just chopsticks for dinner. Little Black and pals were busy in the water, unaware of the boat's chaos. They turned back to work as old Wang sneakily picked up her dagger. He was about to cut the ropes when Black Knee sensed movement behind. Little Black turned, danger closing in. Little Black felt a sudden jolt of panic, hurriedly warning everyone to run back to the boat. Just then, the giant python burst out of the water, the same one that had been tossed up earlier. It didn't leave, instead it waited for revenge. At the critical moment, Louis distracted the giant python. Louis shouted his lungs out, trying to catch that python's attention. Soon he became the python's target, dodging fiercely in the water, reaching shore. He quickly climbed onto the rocks, but the python wasn't done with him. Cornered, Louis had no choice but to hide under the waterfall. But of course, the python found him. The poor guy was trapped in a tight spot. He jumped off the waterfall but was tricked by the python. The snake's tail wrapped around a branch, not the first to face this. Seeing this, Little Black Girl immediately pulled out her AK, by surprise. Old Wang cut the ropes and kicked Little Black out in a flash. Black Girl counterattacked, but Old Wang tossed her aside. Furious, Little Black vowed to fight back, but still no match for brawny Old Wang. As Little Black Girl aimed, Old Wang stopped her skillfully. She stabbed Little Black in the thigh, and the two were stuck in a standoff. The python on the tree was about to strangle the man, but suddenly the big tree fell, crashing onto the cargo ship. Everyone on board had no choice but to leap into the water to escape. The python's prey was done. Little Black Girl climbed back, but Little Black was lucky. Tinny's body suddenly popped up to block his way, and just then the python's tail came rushing in, ready to attack Little Black. In an instant, it locked him down. Little Black Girl tried to pull him out, but the python was wrapped way too tight. Furious, she ditched the plan. At that critical moment, Little Black Girl found an AK and didn't hesitate to fire at the python. She ultimately succeeded in killing the python and saving Little Black, but before they could catch their breath, Old Wang ambushed Little Black Girl, seized the fallen AK. What a heartbreaker. Old Wang, furious over Little Black Girl killing his python, kicked her aside and pointed the gun at her. Just when things looked dire, Cal suddenly sprang from unconsciousness, injecting Old Wang with a shot of tranquilizer. The tranquilizer took effect swiftly, giving Little Black the chance to punch him right into the water. But the tranquilizer fell away, leaving Old Wang's fate uncertain. Cal fell back into unconsciousness, continuing to laze around as the boat kept. Soon they stumbled upon a deserted warehouse, guessing there might be some fuel inside. To ensure smooth sailing, the two cautiously searched and found several barrels of fuel and a python shed skin inside the warehouse. There truly are other giant pythons around here. Just as they were checking the fuel level, Old Wang sneaked up on them again. Waking up tired, they found they couldn't move. Old Wang splattered blood on them, planning to load the python with them as bait. Little Black Girl was furious, cursing Old Wang for his unrepentant sins, but it was utterly futile. This wasn't Old Wang's first rodeo. Apparently, this was a party spot for him and a few ladies. Please cut out the party vibes, Old Wang. The python, enraged by the commotion, struggled. Old Wang tied ropes to the valve, flustered. He planned to tranquilize the python, but his jittery state made it impossible for him to aim properly. The cunning python swiftly seized this opportunity to charge directly at him. By the time Old Wang was ready to shoot, it was too late. The python had locked onto him, and he bolted out of there in panic. Yet, he had still underestimated the python's vendetta against him and found his shoulder caught in its relentless grip. Struggling desperately to escape, he was suddenly blocked by Little Black, who seized the moment. Little Black cut ropes, alerting the python, which ignored him, targeting Old Wang instead. Ironically, Old Wang was intent on catching the python, only to become prey himself. In that moment of being consumed, the camera captured the interior of the python, showing a wriggling, gooey pink tunnel with just one leg sticking out. Ultimately, Old Wang paid the price for his greed with his life, prompting Little Black Girls to scream at Little Black to flee. After swallowing Old Wang, the python slithered effortlessly, tail sweeping, forcing Little Black Girl to dodge. Seeing this, Little Black immediately warned Little Black Girl to escape quickly and ran to confront the python herself. In a panic, Little Black Girl fled, encountering the python beside her. The python burst through the door in a rage, sensing a threat in its immediate surroundings. Little Black Girl didn't have time to think, leaping down to escape, with the python hot on her heels. Suddenly, Little Black had an idea. She instructed Little Black Girl to run to the chimney and lure the giant python but the python was just too quick. There was no way a bipedal could outrun a legless beast. Realizing it wasn't working, Little Black climbed the chimney. In a pinch, she nailed the python's tail, seizing the chance. She aimed to blow up the struggling python as quickly as possible, pushing over a barrel of oil and using some rags on the ground as